I'ma just say it. NRG is a treasure of potential. A treasure chest full of potential, if we're being generous. But that's all they are right now. Kidding aside, I'm not even an NRG fan, but I can feel the NRG fans getting real sick of this line.
Making sure that doesn't happen again.
Because despite the guarantees, it still keeps on happening again.
And again. And again forever.
Welcome to snstry, and today we're diving into the latest and maybe the final chapter of the Verno x NRG Saga. At least for now.
I have FNS in my pocket, Ethan in my pocket, Brock in my pocket, Mada in my pocket, and Sam in my pocket. Wow.
The chaos, the shades thrown, the storylines, and yes, even some of the wild stuff you said in the comments. So April 13th was the big day. MIBR versus NRG. The match every Verno and NRG fan is waiting for. By the way, if you haven't watched the earlier chapters of this saga, now's the time. Because way back then, Verno said that the truth will always come out in the end. And now, the truth could be out in the open. I was already finished with the script when this rumor dropped, so I'm adding it in here before the rest of the content to make sure you're not left waiting. So, some interesting rumor just dropped yesterday, and according to T-Dog, a tier 2 player from Qbert Academy,
FNS was on the chopping block there in terms of the kickoff, even after the off-season event. That ended up not going through because two individuals on the team kind of crossed their arms and said, "I'm not playing if he's not," and then the org was fucked.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
FNS was supposedly on the chopping block way before kickoff even started, but the reason he didn't get cut? Allegedly, two teammates threatened to sit out if FNS was dropped. This whole thing feels downright diabolical. From the outside looking in, it's like NRG has been held at gunpoint this entire time. Here I was wondering why FNS had such a strong pull with the org, but it turns out he might not have. What he does have though are blind accomplices. And who else could it be? It can't be Mada, it can't be Brock. There's no one else left, so it probably is Sam and Ethan. Why blind accomplices? Like, come on, have you watched NRG lately? If some players started a cult promising to improve your aim, but FNS was the leader? Bro, sign me out. I'm not even bothering to check how to join. Anyway, more on this later. For now, I want to comment on this first. So round 1, NRG took the pistol round, and after that win, FNS had this to say.
The duelists are on point, let's go.
But boy, have you checked yourself like ever? People have been roasting his aim for years now, and somehow, it still looks like he hasn't touched the practice range since winning in 2022.
FNS, you know he's in there, man. Oh my god, he's lost. He's geriatric! God almighty, man!
Oh my
Get a
god!
grip! You're getting paid to play! That was so bad, man.
He's just lost his team to get the round, I think.
And before the FNS fanboys get heated, let me just say that there's no definitive way for us to know that he's not training his aim. But come on, man, you're kidding yourself if you think this guy's grinding aim labs every night. 17% headshot rate in the MIBR game. Oh wait, who's that with the 13%? Bro? Yikes. Can anyone point me to a clip or anything where FNS talks about his aim? Or even just trying to improve it? Because this is what's coming up in the YouTube search.
Have you seen FNS's stats? That's what happens when you spray. I'm joking.
And I'm pretty sure if one existed, I would have seen it by now. So feel free to school me if I missed something. And honestly, look at someone like Boaster. He was open and honest about trying to improve his aim. If Boaster can be that real about his aim struggles and the efforts he's putting into improving, then why the heck is FNS staying quiet about it? I mean, we've seen players own up to their flaws and grind to get better.
Playing a lot to try and stay in form, whether it be ranked or deathmatch or aim training.
So what's FNS's excuse? In all of the VCT circuit this year, this man is 13th from the bottom. And no, I'm not just talking about Americas, this is across all regions. Out of roughly 240 players, FNS is sitting at the 227th position. And bro, please don't say that IGLs don't need to frag. Like okay, sure, you don't need to drop 30, but if you're up against a Valen or a John Cutie, or whoever fragging IGL it may be, how are you even supposed to fight back? He's just a free bot kill. He is basically donating a Phantom or a Vandal every round. Trickaim dropped a video on X just dissecting FNS's aim, and honestly, he makes some solid points. I left the link in the video if you want to check it out, but please come back. So, if you're still out here believing FNS is actually working on his aim, hey man, then I must be tense. On the other side, you've got Verno thriving in MIBR, even saying he wants to overcall.
Like, I know what they're gonna do.
Yo, if you have the feeling, you can call.
No. Can I overcall you?
Yeah.
You're always able to overcall. And the other thing too is like...
Now, I saw a lot of your comments in the last video saying maybe he changed, maybe he learned his lesson, but I'm not so sure about that. If you haven't been calling for a long time, trusting you with it out of nowhere, that's wild. It's gonna be awkward as hell, and honestly, I think the results probably aren't gonna be pretty. But just take a look at this.
Spawn.
You guys ready?
Wait, going C. See.
Going C, okay, we
Rotate.
We can do a retake. I have camera. And
We can do fast retake. We can do fast retake.
One mid.
Omen Zay, maybe he's going to...
Get ready to flood off camp. Off camp or ult we flood. Come C. Cortez, come C.
Shout out to Krathu67 who pointed me out to the video. The MIBR is thriving right now, and a huge part of that is Verno actually being allowed to play his game. He's actually being trusted and enabled, and it's showing. Again, nobody goes from no comms to can I overcall in under a month. Verno cleared that up himself in this interview with Sage Tatooine.
Were you able to talk as much and do these mid-round calls in NRG before?
Yeah, I think it was more so like we had a lot of vocal players. Everyone in the team like mid-round super hard. My job wasn't really to like communicate really. Yeah, like my job was to shoot heads. My job was to play my game basically and like not like control the game at all. So I guess, I mean, that's just what I leaned into.
Maybe it's just that, like I said in my previous videos, Verno's a Gen Z kid, and the boomers at NRG, yeah, they're completely lost when it comes to understanding him. These kids do be way too skibidi for their own good sometimes. Whatever the real reason may be, the fact that NRG can seem to unlock a player with this kind of potential just proves that there's a flaw to NRG's system. Even Redux seems to say the same thing, no? And the thing is, it couldn't have been Bonkar, right? I mean, he and Verno came in together, so you'd think enabling Verno would be automatic. By the way, was this Bonkar rooting for his former protege and watching NRG's downfall by his old protege's hand? Damn, revenge is a dish of chicken nuggets best served cold. So I'm gonna be straight with you. NRG is just a bad and a sad team right now.
Guys are so bad, bro.
Verno seems to agree. They were supposed to kick FNS, but guess what? That plan got body blocked by the power of friendship gone wrong. So instead, they kick someone else, and they've got nothing to show for it. And at this point, I think it's pretty inevitable for NRG to make a move again. And I already feel bad for who's ever gonna get kicked, because there ain't no way they're cutting FNS. If they actually did, it'd be like Tens coming back to VCT.
Fuck it, I'm back.
Or hey, maybe they just stick with this lineup and pray something clicks. But honestly, at this point, you've had 4 core players since late last year, and if you still can't figure out something by now, then I think it's time for a major change. But that's just me. What do you think? I remember a few months ago when there was drama about nepotism in the tier 2 scene, but man, that's nothing compared to what's going on here now. This situation didn't just rob Verno and Bonkar, it robbed NRG too. Like I said earlier, this is diabolical work coming from this triad. I honestly don't get why NRG even agreed to be held hostage like this in the first place. This is stage 1 performance. Well, it sure feels like some kind of karmic justice. And if you're still thinking this isn't as bad as it seems, let me break it down. Someone actually lost their job so these 3 could compete for being the most depressing team in the league. That's the trade-off they made. Loyalty over winning, mediocrity over results, and the worst part, nobody even blinked. Let me just put this for comparison. Sentinels are the definition of the power of friendship, and I guess FNS and Friends are the definition of the power of friendship gone wrong. At this point, it's less about winning and more about just having bros to chill with. They've traded the chance at real success for the comfort of having buddies on the team, letting personal ties dictate the future of the team. And sure, they're having fun, but what about the rest of the team? What about the fans? Do these guys even care, or are they just in it for themselves? This is such shameless betrayal to the fans. Honestly, the most honorable thing FNS could have done was just to step away. I've always thought of him as a smart and sensible guy, and when it's clear you can't perform at a high level anymore, the only choice left is to say But then again, we can't really know what's going on behind the scenes. Maybe he's not that smart and sensible after all. Because right now, it just doesn't make sense. Does FNS really want his last year to be remembered like this? Clinging to a spot at the expense of players who are more deserving. This does not only affect his stint this year, it also tarnishes his whole legacy and what comes after. But hey, it's all still just rumors at this point. Who knows if there's even any truth to this? I almost forgot, T-Dog also said this.
I'll give you a little insight. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this is the factoid of what happened, but I also have a good understanding of what happened, so it's also not a random theory or a guess. It's also not a random theory or a guess.
With all that said and done, I'll leave it to you to decide. I'm also feeling I'm gonna be bombarded with claims that I'm biased towards Verno, but that's just how the story goes. If NRG actually won their games and had a solid showing in stage 1, maybe the narrative would have turned out differently. But Verno just kept winning and winning and winning. And let me ask you this. What is a story without a revenge arc, a time skip glow up, and a delusional villain too stubborn to step aside? You tell me. Before I forget, yeah, I know I put up a poll for the next video and PRX won by a landslide, but I just had to get this one out to wrap up Verno's first saga in the VCT. Nevertheless, the PRX video is still coming, it's just that there were a lot of stats I needed to crunch and interpret. Anyway, that's it for the video. Verno might have won this battle, but is the war really over? I wanna know your thoughts on this whole roller coaster of a ride. Leave a like if you enjoyed, hit that sub button so you don't miss the next video, and see you in the next one. Peace!